Welcome to Table 8, Quantitative Research in K-12 Mathematics and Science. I am Dr. Will Place. I'm the Chair of the Department of Educational Leadership here at St. Joseph's University and will be the facilitator for this particular roundtable. Normally in a face-to-face, I probably wouldn't have much to say. The presenters, Dr. David Cambridge, the business manager for Center Student Learning Charter School in Pennsbury, and Dr. Melissa Levalor, who is from a math and reading remediation specialist at Montgomery County Intermediate Unit, would be doing the presenting. They will be presenting, but I've been asked to kind of talk a little bit in general about the idea of quantitative research. I have not done specific research in K-12 mathematics and science, but I've done a lot of quantitative research in K-12 schools. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about methodology that has been used in some of the dissertations that I've chaired and worked on, and the research I've been involved in. One of the things that I think is very important in quantitative research is that the design, the methodology is extremely important. I know Dr. Wang has had several of her students do true experimental designs. The federal government actually has indicated in a number of ways that true experimental designs, or what they call randomized trials, are considered the most sound approach to quantitative research. And the reason that is because of the ability to make inferences about the independent variable being causally related to the dependent variable. In other words, can you say with any confidence that the independent that what you're manipulating, what you're changing in the independent variable, is really making the difference in that you observe in the dependent variable. And so you have to rule out confounding variables. You have to make sure that they aren't different to begin with. The most common error that I think people make is that they don't randomly select and assign individuals to either the treatment or the comparison group. When you have intact classrooms, which makes for the most common kind of a design in K-12, because if we really believe that one approach is better than another, then deciding by random half the people that are going to get a better educational opportunity than the other half has some serious ethical concerns. So there are limited situations in which you can do true experimental designs or randomized trials, but they do exist. For example, the research I've been involved in teacher selection has used hypothetical paper candidates, which were mailed to real administrators, principals, superintendents, to attempt to see if the independent variables influence the dependent variable. In other words, how likely are these candidates like to be given an interview, move on in the selection process. And the variables we manipulated are age. That's the one that's been found most common to influence. Older candidates are discriminated against. But obviously there are other variables that could confound that experience. So that's been the variable that has been built into the study design. Take a 29-year-old candidate with 8 years of experience, or a 29-year-old candidate with 43 years of experience, or a 29-year-old candidate with no experience, compared to a 49-year-old candidate with either 8, 3, or 0 experience. So when you manipulate it that way, and you can randomly assign hypothetical candidates to be reviewed by administrators, then you're able to determine that the impact was either due to experience or age or a combination of them. And what has been found is that the older candidates have been discriminated against regardless of the experience. But that's a randomized trial. There are other ways to do randomized trial too. So the point that I'm trying to make is that having a good, clean research methodology is extremely important, and then thinking about trying to rule out confounding variables is also part of what you need to do as you design your research. So again, I hope you enjoy listening to our presenters, and I look forward to having a conversation with you in the threaded discussion.